Let's go. Rock star lifestyle. Blue shine. Let's
I mix nation for real.
What's up, family? Back again, another video. So as you guys can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you're able to get approved for a auto loan with Navy Federal up to $75,000. So of course, this information, I'm going to go pretty much straight into everything that you need to know, leaving no details out. So just make sure you guys pay attention, grab your notebook, your pencil, your pen, whatever you need to get, because yeah, we're about to get all the info. Okay, I'm about to drop all the sauce. Okay, period. So let's start right into the information because there's no time to waste. So the first thing you want to do is actually get access to being a Navy Federal member. So if you're not already a member, there are definitely multiple ways that you can do to actually obtain access to being a part of Navy Federal. One of the easiest ways to do that is to get an already member's access number. So if you're able to find someone who's already a part of Navy Federal, that everyone who is a part of Navy Federal has their own personal access number. So you are able to give other people your access number in order for them to qualify for a membership. So that's just one way. Obviously, if you are actually, related to someone in the Army, Navy, any type of armed forces, then you are obviously able to get access to being a member. Or if you also have someone who has passed away, like in your family, who was a part of any of those as well, then you can, use that as access by basically just calling and letting them know that you had a family member who was in whatever they're in, or in the Navy, the Army, whatever it was, and again let them know that they passed away, and they'll basically give you access over the phone. So those are just 3 ways. There are actually more ways than that, but like I said, just however you can get in, just get in. But again, if you could just find someone with an access number, that's probably the easiest way, because you can definitely sign up online and just get it done that way. You don't have to call over the phone or go inside. So yeah, so again, first thing you want to do is actually get access to being a member. So once you are a member, there is no certain time frame as far as you being able to be approved for an auto loan. And I know that because I've done this with multiple people before. I've actually helped people who only had a Navy Federal account for literally just days get between 60 to 75K. So even the most recent person that I had, they only had a membership for probably 3 days. They never had dropped any money into the account, so not $1 ever went into the actual Navy Federal account. So what they did was they just, in 3 days, they just applied for the auto loan and they were approved for that amount. So yeah, so and again, that's off experience and what I've actually seen and have actually done. So you don't need to have money actually in your account to be able to be approved for a loan. You don't need to be a member for a certain amount of time to be able to be approved for a loan, because I have heard that, and from what I've seen, no you don't. So yeah. So what we're going to get into is pretty much is how you're able to get approved for the loan. So I know some people are like, well, my credit is not even, up to par for me to be able to get approved for an auto loan at all. I have a repo, so that's probably going to get in the way of my approval. I fell behind on my car payments. That's probably going to get in the way of my approval. So how am I actually going to be able to get 60 to 75K? So yeah, of course, good question. So what this consists of, so for example, now again, I do this with multiple people, so I help multiple people in multiple different types of circumstances be able to get approved for the loan. So some people already have their credit established. So some people are already pretty much like ready to go, but they're able to just get in the account with them and apply. But some people normally need some type of credit work. So that's pretty much what this video entails, is me actually showing everyone who isn't already qualified to be able to still do this with everyone else who is. Okay, right. So the first thing you want to do is obviously pull our 3-bureau credit report. So you guys, I'm always talking about credit, because obviously credit is important. So you want to pull your 3-bureau credit report and just see what is on your credit report that could be fixed. So if you have, low credit scores, or you have a lot of collections or late payments, or, charge-offs and repos, and just any of that thing, anything like that, you want to get that stuff cleaned up first. So before actually even thinking about applying for the loan, just want to go ahead and get your credit repaired first. So if you go watch my video on how you can get anything removed from a credit report, that video will definitely help you in order to get items removed from your credit report. So once you've gone through the process of doing that, you definitely want to go ahead and then move on to whatever step 2 I'm about to tell you is. So again, step 1 is to do credit repair if it's needed. So okay, so make sure you have credit repair. So a lot of people like to ask, what is my certain credit score that I need in order to be approved for a Navy Federal auto loan? So there is no certain credit score that you need to be able to approve. So there's nothing on paper that says you are required to have a whatever score in order to be approved for our auto loans. That doesn't exist. But it is definitely recommended that you have at least a 620 on TransUnion, because what Navy Federal does is they pull from TransUnion only. So we want to definitely make sure our TransUnion report is definitely, good to go. So if anything, when you are going through the process, if you want to just go ahead and just prepare just your TransUnion just for this certain reason here, then just do that. So you can, again, I definitely recommend repairing all 3 of them. Of course, if you're going to repair one, you might as well repair the other 2 as well. But just for this purpose of this video, again, just getting the auto loan, then if you want to just pay attention to just your TransUnion, because again, you already know that that's what they're going to be pulling, then you can go ahead and just work on your TransUnion report. So definitely do that. So another thing I want to tell you guys is, if you have any type of credit freezes on your TransUnion report, definitely make sure you guys remove those. You don't want to have any type of credit freeze on that, because that could get you denied. So we don't want to just risk any denials at all. With Navy Federal, luckily you are able to apply over and over again, basically until you get approved, until until your information is up to par in order for you to get approved. But again, who wants to just keep having to apply and apply and apply? I'd rather just be ready and apply and get approved and get on through, basically. So yeah. So once you go ahead and get your credit repair done, and get those items, negative items removed, all those type of things like that, then you can move on to an optional step. What are we on?
Bruh.
Wait, step 1 was, oh yeah. Okay, yeah, right. So once you've gone ahead and gotten your credit repair process done and completed, and you pretty much gotten all your negative items removed, and you clean up just pretty much all the negatives that you have on your report, your score has pretty much gone up some, and whatever the case may be as far as that goes, then you can move on to what I would say honestly is an optional step 3. So this will be step 3, but for some, again, it depends on your own personal situation, it is kind of optional, because it could be needed, it could not be needed. So if you repaired your credit and you have a 620 or higher afterwards, then I would definitely say you can probably skip this step. But I'm not gonna really say skip the step, because I mean it just helps. It still helps, just anything that helps, why not take it, right? So what this step is what I say pretty much works for anyone, no matter what your credit situation is. It works better for people with a cleaner report than it does for people without a cleaner report. So what that is adding trade lines. If you guys don't know what a trade line is, a trade line is basically, let me just put it in layman terms. For example, I have a credit card, right? I have a credit card, and I've had this credit card for the last 10 years. So for the last 10 years, I've been paying this credit card on time every single month. So all my payments for this credit card are on time and perfect. I have literally perfect payment history for my 10-year-old credit card, right? So what I do is, one of my friends said they need help with their credit. So what I would do is I would take my friend's information, which is basically their name and birthday. And sometimes it could require a social, sometimes it doesn't, but whatever the case may be. But I would take my friend's information and add that to my credit card. I would add my friend as what's called an authorized user to my credit card. So by my friend being an authorized user on my credit card, she's basically reaping the benefits of what they say piggybacking off of my perfect payment history of my credit card, my current payment history and my ongoing. So my this credit card is still an open credit card, so I'm still making payments. So all that is basically helping my friend with her personal credit. So what it's going to do for my friend is it's going to boost her personal credit, whatever amount of points. There's no certain amount of points. That again, the points boost is always depending on that person's actual credit report. So say for example that friend got a 80-point boost from me putting her on my credit card, right? So say for example I have another friend that I did the same thing with, so I added that friend to my credit card as well. So my first friend, so say for example my first friend only has 1 collection, 2 inquiries, and that's pretty much all she has on her credit report, right? Okay, and she got 80 points. But friend number 2 has about 5 collections, 12 inquiries, a couple charge-offs, a few late payments, things like that. So I added that friend 2 to my credit card as well, right? But friend 2 only got about a 40-point boost. Why did one friend get 80 points and one friend get 40 points when they both went on my same card? Again, it's because of the actual credit profile. Because friend 1's profile was cleaner than friend 2's, friend 1 was able to get more points. So that's why I always recommend for anyone adding trade lines, no matter what the situation is, before you add trade lines, especially if they're authorized user trade lines. So of course, you know, there are primary trade lines, which are trade lines that specifically and strictly belong to you as a consumer. So if I was to go on CapitalOne.com and apply for a credit card and I get approved for it with my own information, then that would be considered a primary trade line, right? So me being added to someone else's credit card, then that would be considered an authorized user trade line. So that's the only difference. A primary trade line is just a trade line that strictly only belongs to me. An authorized user trade line is a trade line that, you know, someone just added to and they're just piggybacking off, you know, my good trade line, my good credit card, basically. But yeah, so that's pretty much the only difference. So again, I always recommend cleaning a report first before adding trade lines if it's not already clean, because basically the cleaner the report is, the more points you would get. People think, oh, I can add this trade line, I'm going to get 100 points. Yes, it is possible, but your report has to be very, very clean in order for you to do that. If you have a lot of negatives on your report, you can definitely expect to get lower, you know, a lower amount of points. And who wants to, you know, purchase a trade line, especially if it costs? If you're purchasing a trade line, you're actually spending money to buy a trade line, I want to get the maximum amount of points I can get with it, you know? And of course, it's going to help you regardless, but why would I want 40 points when I could get 80, you know? So again, make sure you guys just clean up the report first before adding the trade line. So that's pretty much the process that we go about with this car loan situation. We always clean the report first, make sure it's as clean as possible, and then we add trade lines. You can add as many trade lines as you want. So of course, like I said, we always want to have at least a 620 is my own personal opinion. Again, that's not an exact number that Navy Federal gives or anything, but I just say 620 because, I mean, that's pretty much like a safe number that I've pretty much seen based on past experiences with, you know, past people that I've helped do this or whatnot. But yeah, so make sure you just basically add the trade lines on a clean report. So yeah, so once you have the trade lines, of course, you know, that's going to help you with a score boost. So again, you know, with credit repair, that normally always help you with score boost depending on the items that you remove. So of course, you know, a lot of times people might say like, oh, well, I went through a credit repair process and I removed, you know, items, but my score went down. And that could be just because of the actual account that, you know, you remove. So say for example, if you do a credit repair process and your say you removed a credit card account that was, like I just mentioned, like something like 10 years old, but that was like your oldest credit card account. It's pretty much your oldest account at all. So say that, I'll rather say that was your oldest account on your report at all. So that account was actually helping your report with the history. Okay, so history is something that also, you know, makes up your actual report and something that actually is important as far as a credit report goes. So if you just removed your oldest account that was giving your account history, then yeah, you could probably expect a score drop because of that. So it's not because, you know, somebody did something wrong or, you know, this or that. It's just like, yeah, you could have just, you know, kind of messed up your history basically. So that's just, you know, just for example, something that can happen, because I see a lot of people always say, oh, I removed this, removed that, but my score went down. That's definitely possible. Okay, that's definitely possible. But a lot of times it normally goes back up. So a lot of times it normally goes back up, and if it ever doesn't, you know, because it was a negative account, if it was a negative account, you know, now that it's removed, again, I still recommend adding trade lines. And not only do I just recommend authorized user trade lines, I also recommend primary trade lines as well. So I honestly recommend both. So, you know, I would add primary and authorized user trade lines. So I would definitely add 1 or 2 authorized user trade lines that I purchased from somewhere that I can piggyback off of. That's, you know, something that, you know, with a lot of history or a very high limit, or both. So normally I always say get one with a high limit and one with a lot of history on it. So you can find like a 1991 trade line, like that would be like a great trade line. And then also a trade line that's like has like a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 limit. That would be a great one as well. So I would add both of those, you know, if you're able to add both of those. But then also, again, like I just said, I would still also add primary trade lines. So one I would recommend is selflender.com. So basically how Selflender works is they have different options you can actually choose. I don't remember exactly which ones is which, but so if you go on selflender.com, basically you can choose one of the options they give you, but I think mine is like a $35 plan that they offer. So basically what happens is I just pay $35 every month, and it reports my on-time payments to my credit report. And then at the end of, I believe, don't quote me guys, I really want to go on the website and just check for you, but I believe it's a 12-month payment plan. That is, I believe it's 12 months. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but whatever the month is, basically, but you pay every month on time for whatever that amount of months is, and then once you come to the end of the period, then what they do is all the payments that you made, they basically are like saving your money, basically. So you're basically investing your own money into yourself. So I'm paying $35 every month, but the money doesn't actually just go to self-lender and they just keep it. No, the money actually goes to like your own personal account with them. And then once your like 12-month period is up, at the end of the 12-month period, they actually send you that money back. Basically, they send you that money back. So I don't know if like money comes out or whatever. I don't really remember. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but that's pretty much how it works. You just pay every month, and the money just accumulates up all the months all the payments you make, and they send you basically a check or a direct deposit. I think, I'm not sure, but they basically send you a check for all the payments that you made. So basically, like I said, just helping you make on-time payments, but you actually get that money back. So that's like a great thing about that. Like I'm just paying y'all $35 every month. So basically, like I'm just investing $35 into my own account, every month with you guys, and then once it's over with, I get all that money back. So that's pretty much how it works. So again, they have like different payment options. So I believe like one of the cheaper ones is like around the $35 range, and then they have another one, whatever. But you just choose whatever works for you. But yeah, that's just one of the ones I definitely recommend. Again, there are so many other like primary accounts that you can definitely use, like rentreporters.com. There are multiple type of rent payment accounts where you can actually report your rental history. So if you're someone who actually pays your rent on time, then you can definitely report your rental history. In some rental reporting account websites go back at least 2 years, so you can actually report like your past 2 years. So it'll actually add 2 years worth of payment history to your report like immediately, basically. So once that account actually reports to your credit report, it'll when you go in there and click on that, click into the account and look at it, you'll see the last 2 years showing on-time payments. So that's like a very great primary trade line, because again, I can have something showing for the last 2 years reporting like immediately. So yeah, stuff like that. So, but yeah, you would definitely want to add primary trade lines. But again, I honestly recommend adding both. So, yeah, so definitely do that. So once you are, pretty much at the process of getting the credit repaired, and then you have your trade lines added. So you got your score boost going on. So once everything is added, you see your score has went up, you see things are cleared. Okay, cool. Like I feel like, okay, now I'm pretty much ready to go. So once you've done that, you pretty much are ready to go. So again, we just want to make sure that your TransUnion is free and clear and clean with a good credit score on it. Put it like that. So that's pretty much what we want. So then what you would do is you would go to NavyFederal.com or log into your actual, you can log into your actual app. So if you're a member, of course, you should also obviously be a member. So once you log into your actual app, you would just go to auto loans and apply for an auto loan. So it'll actually it'll ask you all the information about actually applying for an auto loan. So let me just go ahead and give you guys the information as far as what you need to put on the report. Give me 1 second. All right, so what you want to do is you want to go to Navy Federal. You can either go to NavyFederal.com and log in, or you can just go to your actual Navy Federal app. You can actually do this application within your own app. If you do it within your own app, because it's within the app, they already have like most of your information already. So some stuff they won't even actually input. So it'll already be there, like your social and stuff like that, for example. So, excuse me. So yeah, so once you go into the app, you can actually go to auto loans and apply for an auto loan. So if you have had an auto loan with Navy Federal before, it's normally an easier process for people who have had an auto loan with them before. If you basically had an auto loan and you already like paid off your auto loan and stuff like that, then it's definitely easier for you than a brand new person. But yeah, so as long as the credit is good, then you're pretty much good to go. All right, so once you get into the app, you want to put in your income. So put in your income and put in your employer. So whether you're self-employed or whether you have a job, whatever the case may be, you want to go ahead and put in this information. So let me also mention before we keep going is that Navy Federal does not recommend, I'm not gonna say recommend, wrong word. Navy Federal does not require, they don't require you to submit documents. okay? They don't require you to submit documents, and y'all already know this is my channel, so I keep it 100, so I'm not about to play no games, okay? So I'm telling y'all straight up what's going on, all right? So again, Navy Federal does not require you to send documents in. So with the income amount and the information you're putting in, of course you don't want to lie about the information, because again, if you put in that you make a certain amount a month, and you know they give you up to the $60,000 to $75,000 auto loan, and you go pick a car that actually costs $60,000 to $75,000, just obviously expect that your payment to be in the $900,000 you know plus range, right? So you want to actually be able to afford that. They're only giving you these numbers based on what you put in your application, right? So if you know that you know can't afford $900, $1,000 plus for an auto loan every month, then I would not recommend you increasing your numbers, okay? Right. But anyway, so yeah, so put in your employer or your employment, whatever that is, you put that information in, and you put in your income. And again, so personally, like I said, I'm not telling y'all what to put in for your income, but I am going to say that you want to not OD as far as your income goes. So I mean, if you're gonna if you're gonna up your income a little bit on the application, then that's, you know, that's on you, whatever. But like, if you choose to do that, I'm just trying to keep it 100, then just don't OD. Put it like that, okay, right. So then put your income amount. I mean, I would normally recommend, you know, someone who makes at least $120,000 a year to $130,000 a year, pretty much at minimum. So if you make, you know, at least $120,000 to $130,000 a year, that's pretty much a good income amount, especially for like a, you know, most self-employed business owners, that's, you know, about $10,000 a month. Anything between $8,000 to $10,000 a month is pretty much, you know, how much someone would need to make in order to receive the $60,000 to $75,000 amount, basically. So if you make less than that, then you can probably expect, you know, obviously lesser numbers than $60,000 to $75,000. But yeah, so if you're making anywhere between $8,000 to $10,000 plus, then you can probably expect the $60,000 to $75,000 approval. Anything less than that, you know, kind of approval goes down, kind of pretty much with that. But yeah, so go ahead and put in your income and employer. It's going to ask you how much you need for the car. So if you already have chosen a car, then of course you already know how much that car costs, right? So go ahead and put in the total amount needed for the car, including the taxes, title tax, like all of that. So go ahead and put in that total number that you need for that car in that slot as far as what you need. If you haven't chosen the car yet, I do recommend shopping around first, like to at least get a range about, you know, of what you might need. Because if you don't actually need the full $60,000 to $75,000, you know, you just, you know, asking for the max. You know, of course, you know, you want to get approved for as much as you can, but again, this method works for anyone, but you still want to be able to afford it, right? So yeah, so go ahead and just, you know, figure out what you need for the car, and then put that number in as far as how much you need. Now I will say, if you do have good credit, decent credit, at least great credit, you know, I would definitely put in the $60,000 number. I would not recommend putting in the whole 75. So I don't care what, you know, who does the application. I don't care if you feel like, you know, I make way more than that. I can definitely get the, you know, a 75 approval. I would not recommend putting in 75,000 for the amount, because what happens is you're gonna put a certain number in, and what Navy Federal does is if they actually approve you for more than that, then they will like tell you that on during your application process. So say for example, I put in, okay, well I need $50,000 for my car, right? They'll come back during the application process, like while you're still right there in the application, and they'll say, okay, you asked for 50, but we can give you 65. Would you like to accept 65? And that's how they do that. Like, and it's like, yeah, like, okay, but, or it's like, no, I don't need the whole 65. I only need 50 because that's all I need for the car I want. So I'm gonna keep the payments in my payment range that I want, you know, that I'm requesting. So anything more, I don't really need anything more, right? So you gotta think about it like that. So if you actually need 75, then I would definitely recommend putting in like 60, basically. So just don't ever put in the full $75 number. Put in something less than that, and again, they'll come back and tell you like, oh, well, you asked for this amount, but we can give you this amount. So would you like to take this amount, or would you like to just keep the amount you asked for? That's what they do. All right, so yeah, so keep that in mind. All right, so if you have like lower credit scores, so say for example your credit score is like 5 in the 500, 550, 565, 75, 8, like, you know, that type of thing, I would not recommend it for anyone under a 580. That's pretty much the lowest I've ever seen, but I can't, you know, like I said, this video is not to guarantee any results. It's just from what I've seen before, 580 has pretty much been the lowest credit score I've seen get approved. But even with that, even with a 580 score and $120,000 a month, excuse me, $120,000 a year, you know, you can still probably, you know, get an approval, but it probably would be like, you know, $25,000, $30,000, that type of thing. So just again, ask for what you need, or a little less than what you need, and just accept if they give you offer you higher, right? So once you actually choose where you want to send your check, then again, like I said, you actually have a Navy Federal branch near you, then I would definitely recommend, you know, getting this sent there, because it only takes about 24 to 48 hours for it to be ready at the branch. So and that's obviously pretty fast, because I mean, if you get approved for a large auto loan, or any auto loan at all, really, if you know, someone who really needs a car, then of course you want to get your car immediately. And because you are getting the loan through Navy Federal, also make sure you understand that you do not have a down payment when you go to the dealership, right? And you're able to choose any dealership you want also, so keep that in mind as well. So basically, you just got an approval for an auto loan. You can choose any dealership that you want, you know, that has a car within that auto loans amount that you were approved for. You take it to the dealership, you give them that, you know, that check for that loan, and pretty much everything required as far as the payment is included. So your down payment is also included in the auto loan as well. So that's why when you chose the car, just make sure all the, you know, all the monies that's needed is included in this check amount, because the down payment is also included in that as well. So you will go basically give this dealership your check, and everything's included. So you're not coming out of your personal pocket for anything, because your payments will be made to Navy Federal now. So basically, you just got approved for an auto loan through your bank. So when you have to make your car payments, you'll be making those car payments to Navy Federal, no matter what dealership you choose. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as well. And also the fact that you are able to choose any dealership that you want. So if you find a car, you know, in a location 3-4 hours away, like, you know, it doesn't matter. If you find a car in another state, like, none of that matters. It basically doesn't matter. As long as you obviously, all you need to know is basically having that check in hand. It's almost like having cash in hand. So I'm walking into the dealership with cash in hand. And also, let me also mention before I end this video, let me give y'all a quick little gem on how you want to go about this process also, because this is, listen, these people in these dealerships, these car dealers, they will try you, okay? So when you actually get approved for your auto loan and you find a dealership that you want to get your car from, number one, do not let them know when you walk to the dealership that you have this check, okay? Do not tell them that you have this check. Don't tell them that you have that check. Don't tell them that you have that check, okay? Don't do that. Don't let them know anything. You walk to that dealership as if you are just someone who was just, you know, shopping around for a new car. They should know nothing about you already having a approval in your hand, right? Let them know, hi, I'm just here, you know, shopping around for a new vehicle. I want to see, you know, what you guys have on your lot. Or you can also just let them know, I did see online you guys had this certain car, so I wanted to come and check it out. Just to honestly save a little time, because yeah, do that. Do it that way. Let them know that you already found the car on their website online and you came up there to check that certain car out, right? So get there, they're gonna pull the car, they're gonna put information for the car, they're gonna tell you that, you know, let us go ahead and run a credit app on you. So once they pull the credit app out, don't even fill the credit app out, okay? So keep in mind, you've already got your auto loan approval. You don't need to fill out any credit applications. You don't need to do anything. They have, you know, like a regular, you know, just give us your information piece of paperwork. That's fine, but I'm not filling out any applications. You're not running my credit with anyone. You're not trying to find me a financer. You're not doing anything. I've already got my check in hand ready to buy my car. All I want to know is I just want to test drive this car really and just see what's up with the car. That's all I'm really here to do. But again, still, don't mention anything about the check, okay? So go ahead and let them know, like, you know, yeah, I'm just doing that, whatever. Just go through the process, you know, as you normally would. And then once it does come down to the finance option where they say, okay, well, let's see who we can get you approved with, what you tell them is you let them know, well, I was trying to get an approval with my bank. I believe my bank is already, you know, pretty much gotten me an approval. I'm just trying to, you know, basically pick a car right now so I can let them know how much I need, basically. Whatever. Okay, fine. So you already know you want to get, yeah, so I don't really need to do any credit apps or anything. I already know my bank will approve me, so I just want to, you know, just really test drive the car and see if I want it, honestly. Okay, well, that's fine. So let's just go ahead and get that done then. Okay, so they let you test drive a car. You come back and say, okay, well, do you like the car? Yeah, I do like how the car drives, actually. So I've already got the information from my bank to go ahead and, well, actually, okay, rewind before I even say that. If able. So that's pretty much a quick go through process. But if you're able to get them to talk down the price of the vehicle as well. So I see that your sticker price was such and such, so I'm trying to see if I'm able to get the car for this amount. Try to negotiate the car for a lower price as well. So even though you know you got a check in your hand, even though you know you already big balling right now, you already like, oh, I'm about to just cash out in this car and walk out the door, just see if you can also just get the finance manager to actually bring the price down for you. So whatever car dealer, salesperson that you're working with, you know, just again, like I said, just try. I recommend trying, because if I can get this car for a cheaper price, then of course, maybe, you know, that helps basically my payments with Navy Federal become lower, because Navy Federal is going to tell me my payment amount up front during my application process, but that amount can go down once you know, all the information is sent back to them as far as the car that I actually chose. You know, they give me all this information up front, but all that can change once I actually choose a car. So if I choose a car for a cheaper price, then the payment that they gave me will actually go down, right? So if you can get the car for a cheaper price, negotiate a cheaper price for the car, try to do that, basically. So basically, don't even reach in the check until, you know, till the end of the process, where they pretty much try to get you to actually, you know, go through the financing stuff. But yeah, try to get it negotiated down first, and then go ahead and, you know, let them know, well, you know, my bank already has me in approval, so I just wanted to see if, you know, this car would fit within my budget and I like the car. So once they pretty much figure out that you have that check in your hand, they're probably gonna take that car salesman gonna take that check and go to the back and talk to the manager and come back out and say, oh, well, you're good to go. So nothing else we need here. So yeah, let me just get you this paperwork right here to fill out. Let's just go ahead and get your whatever else needs to be done, whatever. Okay, like you're pretty much good to go out the door. Okay, thanks. And it's really just that easy. Like, there's nothing that you need to do besides go look at the car, view the car, test drive the car, make sure the car is right. See if you can get the car down for a lower price. I again recommend that option as well. And then, but that's it. Like, that's really all you have to do. So make sure you guys like this video, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, and make sure you guys turn on your post notifications so that every single time I post a new video, you'll know about it. Okay?